The alarm did not go off that morning, but Marcus Webb was already awake. He had barely slept. He lay staring at the cracked ceiling of the small apartment he shared with his two daughters, 9-year-old Lily and 6-year-old Sophie, listening to their soft breathing from the next room. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Today was the day, the only day that mattered in a very long time. He had an interview at Hargrove Solutions, a mid-sized logistics company on the other side of the city, for a position as a warehouse coordinator. The pay was not extraordinary, but it was steady. It came with health insurance, and it was enough to finally stop choosing between groceries and electricity. Marcus had been unemployed for 8 months. He had not planned for it to go that way. When his wife Elena left 18 months ago, she did not just take her clothes and her car. She took the confidence he had spent 34 years building. He had missed days at his old job, distracted and hollow, until his supervisor finally let him go with a handshake and a cardboard box. Since then he had survived on odd jobs, help from his older sister Rosa, and the fierce, quiet love he poured into his daughters every single day. He pressed his only dress shirt the night before, using a pot of boiling water, because the iron had broken weeks ago, and there was no money to replace it. He polished his shoes with a cloth and a little cooking oil, because shoe polish was not in the budget either. He packed his daughters' lunches, dropped them at school, and then stood at the bus stop for 20 minutes before realizing the bus route had changed last week and he had missed it entirely. Marcus did not have money for a rideshare. He looked at his phone, looked at the distance on the map, and started walking. 4 miles, in dress shoes. In February, he told himself it was fine. He told himself men had done harder things for less. He focused on Lily's smile when she had a warm dinner waiting. He focused on Sophie's laugh when he read to her before bed. He walked for an hour and 15 minutes, arriving at the glass doors of Hargrove Solutions, with 7 minutes to spare and a blister forming on his right heel. The receptionist pointed him to the 3rd floor, and he smoothed his shirt in the elevator mirror, barely recognizing the tired man staring back. The interview was conducted by a woman named Diana Reyes, head of operations. She was professional, warm, and precise. She asked him about his logistics experience, his problem-solving approach, and how he handled pressure. Marcus answered every question carefully and honestly. He spoke about his years coordinating shipments at his previous company. He spoke about systems, about teamwork, about accountability. He did not speak about Elena. He did not speak about the sleepless nights or the mornings. He had cried in the shower, so his daughters would not hear. But somewhere near the end, when Diana asked him where he saw himself in 5 years, something in him cracked just slightly. He paused for a second too long. He saw himself not in a corner office or a management title, but simply sitting at a table with Lily and Sophie, eating a meal he had cooked himself, in a home that was warm and safe. He said something vague about professional growth and stability. It sounded hollow even to him. Diana thanked him for his time. She shook his hand and told him the company would be in touch within a week. Marcus nodded, smiled, said thank you, and walked back to the elevator. He rode it down alone. He pushed through the glass doors. He stepped onto the sidewalk, and then, without making a decision about it, he just kept walking. He did not know where. He only knew that his chest felt heavy in a way that had nothing to do with the cold. He had prepared for that interview for 2 weeks. He had rehearsed in the mirror. He had borrowed a notebook from Rosa to write down possible questions. He had done everything right. And still he felt deep in his bones that it had not been enough, that he had not been enough. He had walked half a block when he heard quick footsteps behind him. He did not turn around. People walked fast in this city. The footsteps got closer, and then a voice called out, clear and direct, cutting through the wind. He turned. It was Diana Reyes, without a coat, her blazer open to the cold, moving toward him with purpose. He stopped. She reached him and caught her breath for just a moment. She told him she had a question she forgot to ask inside. She asked him how he had gotten to the interview that morning. He blinked. He told her he walked. She looked at his shoes. She looked at the way he was standing, favoring his left foot slightly. She nodded slowly, as if something had confirmed itself for her. She told him she had watched him from the third-floor window after he left. She said she had seen him check his phone, look up at the building once, and then just start walking again, head down, steady. She said she had worked in hiring for 11 years, and she had interviewed hundreds of people. She said most people who are not confident in how an interview went do one of two things. They hurry away like they cannot get out fast enough, or they linger, hoping to make one more impression. She said he had done neither. He had just walked, like a man who was going to keep going no matter what. She told him she was not supposed to make decisions on the spot. She told him the proper process involved review and callbacks. Then she told him the position was his if he still wanted it. Marcus stood on that sidewalk in the February cold and did not say anything for a full 3 seconds. He thought about Lily and Sophie. He thought about Rosa and everything she had given without being asked. He thought about the pot of boiling water he had used to press his shirt. He said yes. He said yes, and his voice did not shake, though everything else inside him did. Diana shook his hand again, right there on the street, and told him she would have HR send the paperwork by end of day. She also told him, almost as an afterthought, that the company offered a transit subsidy for employees, and he could apply from day one. He thanked her. She went back inside. He stood there for another moment, alone on the sidewalk, the cold wind moving around him. Then he called Rosa. He could not get many words out at first. She already knew, the way sisters always do, and she just kept saying his name, quietly on the other end, until he found his voice again. He picked his daughters up from school that afternoon, and when Lily asked how the interview went, he told her it went well. She asked if that meant they could get a new iron. He laughed. A real laugh, the kind he had not heard from himself in a very long time. Sophie grabbed his hand and swung it as they walked. He thought about Diana running out into the cold without her coat, and what it means when someone sees the part of you that is still standing, still moving, even when you yourself have stopped believing it is worth anything. Sometimes the thing that changes your life is not the answer you give in the room. Sometimes it is the quiet way you carry yourself out of it. Sometimes someone is watching, and what they see in you is exactly what you forgot was there. If this story touched your heart, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel, Kindness True Stories, where we bring you real and inspiring stories of hope, humanity, and the extraordinary kindness that lives in ordinary people. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep these stories alive. Thank you for being part of this community.